Hiya, yes. The right straight with a jumping left hook. This is a combination that I've seen Fedor throw so many times, and he just cremates people with this one. It's awesome. The trick is really just kind of being patient, and then when you go in big. It doesn't matter what that guy is throwing back at you. You're going to rip 2 punches as hard as you possibly can at that guy's face, and it's going to do some damage. The right straight jumping left hook. The trick of this is all about the first step and not planning on leaving it on the ground for any length of time. I gotta get in on Tom with my left step, boom, but I'm gonna bounce off of it, boom, bam, in order to throw that jumping left hook, boom, bam. Now you should be stepping forward with your left foot, your first step, with your intention being to jump off of that foot. So don't plant your weight into your foot. You're going to have to bounce off that thing. And you should even think about, like, when you're reaching your left foot forward, pulling yourself forward, like actually pulling on the mat with your foot or the ground, whatever you're standing on, to pull yourself forward into your jump. They tell you not to jump in boxing. They teach that way because most retards can't keep their balance when they leave the ground. So they think, you're going to lose your balance if you leave the ground, and that's not sound fundamentals. Sound fundamentals, my ass. Some rules are made to be broken. And look, if you've been moving around in a fighting stance for a while, if you've been practicing for a little while, and you're comfortable and balanced and athletic, I don't see any reason why you can't leave the ground to throw a punch as long as you're going to land correctly. Remember, these rules are made for the masses. And when boxing coaches are dealing with somebody, who's maybe never boxed before in their life or never done anything athletic, and that might be you, it doesn't really matter, they can't necessarily encourage them to jump on their hooks because for the most part, that's going to end up in a bad result. People are going to lose their balance, bad things are going to happen. But as you get more and more comfortable, there's nothing wrong with a little jump. It adds explosiveness to your movements, and it brings you in while maintaining power in your strikes. Now, if you're fighting somebody in an ice skating rink or on a frozen pond, this is probably not the best technique to throw. In fact, just don't ever fight people on a frozen pond. Don't even go on a frozen pond. Yeah. So you step in on your left foot, you turn for a big hook, and I want you to kind of take an angle with this as well if you can. So if Tom is directly facing the camera, I'm going to bounce this way, so it's like you don't see me here, and now I'm kind of facing over here for him. Why jump straight ahead? You're more likely to be punched in the face that way, and that kind of defeats our whole purpose. We want to hit that guy and not get hit back. Jumping at a bit of an angle, moving 45 degrees towards the guy, that's a good bet. It's going to get you out of that direct path of fire that he might be, thinking about unleashing on you. Next, you need to focus on landing in an athletic position. You don't want to straighten your legs when you jump because, obviously it's going to screw up your balance. And you don't want to have your legs straight when you land either. Knees bent always results in a good athletic position. It puts you in a good position to move around after you've thrown your combo and to throw additional attacks. So that's it. This is going to take some practice because even though it's a 2-punch combination, it's going to be a little weird at first to be stepping and jumping off of your front foot and landing in an athletic position, so on and so forth. But you gotta love combinations like these where you just get to unleash the 2 hardest punches that you can possibly throw in an effort to end that fight right then and there. And this puts you in a good position to do it.